And let's just see what a good old image reference will do. And then you ask for a man praying for an interdimensional horror clown savior. Not necessarily who you want to be saved by, but it kind of shows that AI rather wants direct reference of what you're actually seeing rather than abstract concepts. I told it needed to adhere to the camera angle much more, as that seemed to be the trickier thing for it to get from that sketch, but I found the workaround for that was to tell it to create a sketch that adhered exactly to my sketch but with a much higher quality render. And from there you kind of just tell it what you want it to look like. So I jumped into Nana Banana because that's where I heard all the hypes at, to see if it did a better job, but it kind of took it a bit too literal. As you can see here, it kind of just very much adhered to the drawing. So I had to explain that it was supposed to be raining, and it did a bit of rain, but it still also struggled with that camera angle. So I told it had to be filmed from above, and it kind of just flipped the image upside down, which was very odd. So in terms of creating sketches and rendering them to a higher quality standard, ChatGPT came out on top on this one. There's one more thing I just want to point out, that is that I do find Nano Banana to be better in terms of acting performance. So this is the acting, and it's very the acting on ChatGPT is a little bit cartoonish, I feel. And I feel the acting on ChatGPT is a bit cartoonish. I feel that the acting on ChatGPT, you can get good facial expressions and things to kind of put into a video editor. No, sorry, that you can get into a AI video gen. But looking at Nano Banana, it's a huge difference. Look at what you can get out of it. I'm not saying you can't get this out of ChatGPT. I'm just saying that this is miles better than some of these. They're slightly comical, like that one and this one. However, you still get this in Nano Banana. It's much better, I find, than ChatGPT, but you still have this thing that I can't quite put my finger on. It's slightly almost like plastic acting. I don't know what it is, but it's not really so much in this image. This image, look at his face, like it looks like it's from a movie. I mean, it's very close. It's really getting there. And this has it's like taking from a DSLR camera, and it has like a lot of filters on it, and there's like, I don't know, like it doesn't have a soul or something. Sorry for my inspecificity. And so feeding this into ChatGPT, it does a good job, and it does way better job than a lot of other ones, like this is Flux 2 Pro and this is Seedream, where you kind of have them keeping, they kind of render the person render the person but not the image around it. And I do think ChatGPT and Nano Banana has a very big advantage when it comes to it being a language model, because when it's a language model, it can do a much better job at second guessing what you're trying to say. Whereas Midjourney and Flux and things, Flux does have it slightly language model attached to it, but some of them are very literal. So also one thing I found that what you might want to do is start out with a very rough sketch, and then you tell either ChatGPT or Nano Banana to improve that sketch. Obviously she's missing pants, trousers, which is odd. I do think I drew them. I do think I drew some pants on this person. Tell ChatGPT to make it into a highly rendered final drawing. What you can do is tell ChatGPT or Nano Banana to trace it completely over your sketch, but make it a much better render of the sketch that you feed it. That way it will take something incredibly scribbly and rough like that and render it into much more what you want. Same with Nano Banana doing this. Obviously I didn't give Nano Banana such a strict description. I didn't tell it about the puddles and all that stuff, so I did ChatGPT, and you can see it's done a good job at it. But overall I think Nano Banana did a much better job at rendering and tracing over and keeping it. I didn't say much to Nano Banana though, so Nano Banana did come out on top on this one. And what you do next is you give your sketch, feed it back into ChatGPT or Nano Banana, and then tell it what you want. I mean, this is cheating. Oscar winning, seriously emotion acting, Oscar winning cinematography. That's lazy. I'm lazy, and I didn't get very much out of it because I was being lazy. So don't do what I've done here. Don't say Oscar winning serious seriously emotion movie, Oscar-winning actor, amazing Oscar-winning cinematography. That isn't a great prompt. You want to say moody lighting, misty, smoke in the background, wet ground with puddles, glistening highlight specks on the rocks. Those kind of things are good details that you want to give it ideally. So you kind of just have to close your eyes and kind of imagine the image and just talk. And the best way is to just hit talk on the thing and just talk directly to it. And if you do that, hopefully it goes straight